And then something slammed into the back of my truck, hard enough to make the whole frame shake. At the same time, the whole car dropped. Hello. Hope you guys are having a wonderful night, because this time I'm going to bring you two stories. The first story is about a weird occurrence that happened to some friends. Something that they couldn't really explain. Probably witchcraft or something more obscure. And the second is also about a weird occurrence that happened to an alone driver late at night. His car got heavy. He didn't know how to explain it. Or probably you just think these are just some stories, entertainment. But if you don't have enough respect for them, it might become your next reality. Let's begin with our program, What Crawls in the Nights. A year and a half ago, we were at a friend's house, drinking beers and letting music fill the night. There were 4 of us, just us. We were waiting for our friend's brother to arrive, expecting 5. We stayed in the backyard, talking, laughing, the kind of night that feels normal, until it doesn't. Around 3 a.m., something changed. The light in his brother's room suddenly turned on. All of us noticed at the same time. The rooms faced the backyard, so we had a clear view of the window, and there was a silhouette, still, watching. We didn't question it. It had to be him. He must have come in quietly, gone upstairs, maybe changing, maybe just standing there for a moment before coming down. But he never came down. The silhouette didn't move, not once. It just stayed there, outlined by that dim yellow light, too still, like it wasn't breathing. We tried to ignore it. We kept talking, drinking, but every now and then, someone would glance back at the window, and it was still there, exactly the same. By 5 a.m., exhaustion won. We convinced ourselves he had just gone to sleep without saying anything. That explanation felt easier than the alternative. We woke up around noon, maybe 1 p.m., with that same quiet assumption. He's upstairs, asleep. We went to his door. We knocked. No answer. We laughed a little, made a joke about him being dead asleep, and opened it. The smell hit instantly. Rotten, thick, sweet and putrid at the same time, like something that had been left to decay in the heat. It clung to your throat, made it hard to breathe. We covered our noses and stepped inside. The room was empty. No one. No sign of anyone ever being there. The bed untouched. But the smell was real. Something felt wrong in a way that's hard to explain. Like the room didn't want us there. We called him. The phone rang. Not from far away, from inside the room. We followed the sound. Slowly, each step heavier than the last, until we reached the bed. The ringing was coming from underneath. One of us knelt down and reached it, and pulled out a black box. It was cold, too cold. Inside it, feathers, dozens of them, dark, matted, like they had been torn out, not shed. The smell was stronger there, and beneath them, his phone, still ringing. We didn't want to touch it, but we did. When we unlocked it, what we saw made everything worse. Photos, dozens of them. Pictures of us in the backyard, taken from the exact angle of that window. While we were drinking, while we were laughing, while we thought we were alone. The timestamps matched 3 a.m. onward. In some of the pictures, you could almost feel it, like whoever or whatever was taking them wasn't just watching, it was studying us. We didn't speak. None of us could. Then, a phone rang. An incoming call. It was his brother. We answered. He told us he had been in the hospital since the day before. It was a car accident. Nothing serious, but he hadn't been home. He hadn't even had his phone with him. After that, everything in the house changed. We deleted the photos, every single one. The phone, we didn't sell it. We didn't give it away. We threw it out like it was something alive. But it didn't end there. For days after, my friend and his brother started hearing things. Laughter. Not loud, not clear. Just enough to make you question if it was real or if it came from inside your own head. The dogs knew. They would stare at nothing, at walls, at the ceiling, at empty corners, and bark like something was right there. Sometimes they would whimper, backing away slowly, like whatever they saw was getting closer. One night, they refused to stay downstairs at all. No matter what, they wouldn't go. They had to be carried upstairs, trembling, refusing to look back towards the dark. And even now, my friend says there are moments, late at night, when the house feels exactly like it did that night. Like someone is standing, just out of sight, watching, waiting for the light to turn on again. Well guys, you haven't finished this video quite yet. I'm gonna add another story. I hope you guys like it, and let's continue. I remember that night too clearly, like it never really ended. I was driving from my small town to the state capital in Sinaloa to see my mother at the hospital. I'd gotten off work late from the little grocery store where I worked. I didn't ask to leave early. There was no point. I already knew I wouldn't be coming back that night. By the time I hit the road, it was around 10 p.m. That stretch by the river has always felt wrong. The river runs alongside the road, close enough that in the dark it feels like it's keeping pace with you, like something is moving out there, just beyond what your headlights can reach. That night, the darkness felt thicker than usual. Then I saw them. Eyes. At first, just two, then more, scattered, low to the ground, shining faintly in the distance. I slowed down. As I got closer, the shapes formed. Coyotes. A whole group of them, hunched over something. Their bodies moved in slow, jerking motions as they fed the carcass of a cow. I passed them carefully, barely breathing, watching to make sure None ran into the road. But as I drove by, some of them stopped. They didn't run. They didn't flinch. They just lifted their heads and looked at me all at once. Not at the truck, but at me. I looked away and kept going. And then something slammed into the back of my truck, hard enough to make the whole frame shake. At the same time, the whole car dropped, like if something heavy had climbed into it. I froze. My hands tightened around the steering wheel. I checked the rearview mirror. Nothing. Just darkness, swallowing the road behind me. But the weight was there. I could feel it in the way the truck dragged, in the way the engine strained, just a little more than before. I told myself it was nothing, a bump, something from the road. But deep down, I knew that wasn't true, because then the temperature changed. The air inside the cab turned cold. Not cool, but cold. The kind that seeps through your clothes and settles into your bones. The kind that doesn't belong on a warm night in Sinaloa. My breath hitched, and without thinking, I started praying, quiet at first, then louder. The words tangled together, barely making sense. I didn't want to look again, but something made me, just for a second, in the rearview mirror. Movement, a shadow. Too large, too solid to be nothing. It shifted from one side of the truck to the other. Slow this time, deliberate, like it knew I was watching. I snapped my eyes back to the road. My chest tightened, my heart pounding so loud it felt like it filled the cab. But then, something worse happened. The shadow didn't stay in the back. For a moment, just a flicker, it looked closer. Not all the way in the back anymore. Closer to the cab. Like it was leaning forward. Like it was trying to get in. I gripped the wheel harder, my knuckles aching. I didn't dare to turn my head. I didn't dare to look directly. Because I had the overwhelming feeling that if I did, I wouldn't just see it. I would see me seeing it. And it would come closer. So I kept driving, faster now, praying louder. The cold got worse. It pressed against my skin, crawled up my neck, settled right behind my eyes. And then, nothing. The weight lifted. Suddenly, the truck rose back to normal. The cold disappeared just as quickly, leaving the air thick and warm again. But I didn't stop. I didn't even slow down. I drove like that for miles, not looking back, not thinking, just trying to put distance between me and whatever had been there. People say that along that road, a man appears sometimes. A figure that asks for a ride. I didn't see a man. I never saw a face. But something got into my truck that night. And sometimes, when I drive alone, I still catch myself checking the rearview mirror. Because there are moments, brief quiet moments, when the back of my truck feels just a little too heavy again. Well guys, that was today's stories. I hope you guys liked it. If you guys did like it, please leave a like, subscribe, share with a friend. Let's grow this community together. And remember, don't ignore the sounds tonight. You've already awakened it. Good night, and don't let the bedbugs bite.